What up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Got another little episode for you guys. We're actually going to talk about storage and what all I throw in the boat and what I take with me on a regular basis, because I feel that's important and it'll help you guys out, maybe give you guys a couple ideas. But yeah, what I do is whatever species I'm fishing for, I'll have basically everything I'm going to use for that day for that specific species. So like if I'm fishing in the river, or I know I'm going to the creek, if I'm going after smallmouth, hybrid, striper, you know, I'll put all my whatever boxes I'm going to take and then throw it in the bag. And what I like to do is get all my jigs and my swim baits together. So like, I'll get you guys here. So say like, you know, you got all your 3/8, you know, your quarter ounce, and these I really like a whole lot because I don't know, they're really tough, and they got some fine pearl in these baits. These are the Largos that I've been using for a little while now, and I think that one's like a baby shad with a little bit of blue and white pearl in it, and then this one's like almost like a sexy shad. You can't really tell, but it's got a little bit of green in it, a little bit of flash in it, and you know, and I'll have all that put together, and I'll throw my flukes, you know, everything else in one box. That way, you know, and I'll have a couple of little things, you know, mixed here and there. And like I was saying, you know, I'll have all my paddle tails all in one box, my grubs. It just makes it a lot easier to get two things, you know, quick and efficiently, because I hate having a bunch of stuff, you know, mixed around in the bag. These are some homemade jigs I tied. I'm probably gonna throw these out pretty soon here. I've specifically made these for white bass and hybrid. Thinking about throwing a little bit of flash in that, you know, kind of show you guys. You know, and it's all hand tied. So yeah, I got basically tied those up for white bass and hybrid. So, and I'll show you guys some rod setups I use. Basically, like, so you don't really have to break your buck. Like if you're fairly new or like just getting into stuff, rods and reels are going to be fairly important. Mostly the rod, if you guys are going to start buying rods and reels. But I'll show you guys here in a second my little setups, and you guys can check them out. So stick with me, stay tuned. So I like to use like a 7-foot rod, or even a 7/4 for spin gear. I mean, if we're throwing super long casts, like a 9-foot surf rod, line capacity is very important when you're in the creek or the river. This one here is just a 7-foot. It's a medium fast action Berkley Lightning rod. It's probably one of my lightest. It's my finesse rod on a 2500 series reel, Daiwa. I'm using 15-pound braid, and then you don't have to, but I'll tie on a leader to my braid. Like this is 15-pound braid. I'll do what's called a surgeon's knot on the end of this, and I'll run like a 4-foot leader, and run mono to the end of this braid, and it's called a surgeon's knot. I'll put it down there in the description. But yeah, or you can run straight braid. You know, if it's a little rough out there, fishing spillways, rivers, or you got a creek that's kind of running, you know, your rod choice is going to be very important, and your line as well, because you don't really want to snap off, especially if you get on a good fish. That always sucks. This is one of my other stout rods I like using. It's a 7 foot. Medium, fast action, tapered action. It's that Eagle Claw rod. That last one, I mean, that rod was probably like $30, $40. You know what I mean? You don't have to get super crazy with it. And then the reel, I mean, it was probably like $30, $40. Like this one I got set up, that's probably about a $80 to $95 reel right there, the Sedona. I really like these. They're awesome. And like I said, that's that Eagle Claw rod, Cabela's. And you know, the rod was probably like $60, if that. And then, you know, your bait casters, especially if you're on the river or you got, you know, locks that you're fishing next to or spillways. My bait casters, I'll throw like a 7 foot 11, 710 medium heavy, or a heavy rod with a 2-300 series reel. Like this one's a Tatula. I just started using these and they're really comfortable. Light in your hand, but the rod itself is just super stout. And I'll run about 17 to 20 pound test out in the river, or if I'm near the dam or the spillway, just to have a little bit of backbone. And I usually don't like putting on braid, straight braid on the bait caster, because you know, sometimes you pull into them and you snap, or say he goes to head shake really hard one way and bam, that's it, you just lost a good fish. Between that 17 and 20 pound test, it's like a shock absorber for those fish. Like, you got enough to set the hook, but at the same time you got a little bit of a shock absorber there, so you're not gonna snap off or lose that fish. I feel, I mean, everyone's different. Yeah, but basically for my bait casters, if you're fishing a lot of current, like I said, 7-Eleven, either medium heavy or a heavy rod will do. And between 200-300 series bait casters. And but as far as those last two, those spin reels, they're only like a 2500 series reel. Like I said, you can either go from $40-$60 all the way up to, you know, $150, $200, $300 reel. But you're gonna notice the better quality, you know, whether you're going from 90, 150 and up on some of these reels. And a lot of them, they got decent warranties on them, and I like them. I've always just been more of a Daiwa and Shimano person, because the quality, the way they're built, super smooth. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, you know, I'll store everything what I'm gonna throw that day, and if I can get it in the boat and everything that I use in the boat can fit in my bag, I'll try to take it. So like, let's see here, I'll get all my boxes and everything, and I'll throw this in the description below. This is a Cast King bag off Amazon. I like it a lot. It's got a lot of storage. It's got rod holders on the sides, and then whatever I use up top, like say like my scale, you know, my bank chargers and stuff. I'll throw in the bag, and pretty much I'm good to go. And this is basically what I'll throw in the inside the boat, or with me on my back if I'm on the bank. So it's got really good back support. I like it. So if you guys are interested in getting a new backpack, I strongly suggest picking one of these up. They're really comfortable, sturdy. Oh, it's even got pouches for your soft plastics on the sides and whatnot. So yeah, and then I'll show you guys some, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you're not taking much with you, I like these little small bags too. Say if I'm only going to the creek or whatever, I can still throw all my pliers and stuff in here. A little plano bag. Just real light. Throw it on your shoulder, and that's pretty much it. And like I said, it all just depends on what you're doing, what your goal is, and what species you're going after that day. But I just figured I'd put something together to kind of help you guys out, and I hope you guys enjoy. I will throw you guys some links in the description as far as like rods, reels, or if you guys got questions about some of the water shoes I use, storage, things like that. I'll put it all in the description for you guys, and you guys can check them out. And I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I'll see you guys out in the water. So peace till next time.